Hey guys, so recently I've been hearing that clones are bad rides. Now, not from everyone, but I've heard a couple people say just clones are bad and that parks just use complete original rides. So, today I'm going to do a video about if clones are good or bad. So, we have to approach this from two angles. One being the economics of it. Wait, I meant three angles. We have to approach this from three angles. One being the economics, two being are they pleasing to the guest, and the third being do they fit with the park? So let's start off with the two ways parks can the two ways park chains can buy roller coasters. So there's a Six Flags way. So Six Flags way is buy a bunch of one clones, like the Batman the Ride clones, and like the Vekoma Boomerangs and the Vekoma SLCs, the SNS 40 Free Flies, stuff like that. Then there's a Cedar Fairway. So that's buy one very expensive B&M coaster and then one cheaper like GCI coaster. And I know they haven't done that recently, but I feel like that's a pretty good way of doing it. So basically it comes to the argument of getting a coaster every about 4 years or getting one in the Cedar Fair case about every 6 to 7 years. So obviously from an economic standpoint, it is a win because you obviously want a new coaster as soon as possible. And by doing the clones, you can't do that because clones are cheaper to produce than one that's completely original because design costs a lot of money. So by getting clones, you can obviously buy more coasters. And I do feel like that's a huge advantage, and that's why I think clones are a good thing from an economical standpoint. So now let's talk about are they good or not? So let's start by using Six Flags as an example. So they have good clones, Batman the Ride clones, and you could say the SNS 40 Free Flies. I personally never ran one. However, they look pretty good, but I've heard people say they aren't that great. So like the Batman the Ride clones though, they are very good. I have ran one, and they are very good. So I don't see a reason why parks shouldn't have these. They are very good. So now let's move on to an example that's a not great coaster that's cloned, so like the Vekoma SLCs, which are very bad clone coasters. So to be honest, I'm not sure why these exist because they should have never honestly been made. But they are very bad clones, so I don't think they're a good ride. And so what I guess I'm getting to is that if you have a good clone, then you should clone it. If you have a bad one, then you shouldn't, obviously. So now let's talk about if they fit with the parks. So for this example, let's use Paramount's parks. Be more exact, King's Dominion and Kings Island. So these coasters have 4 clones in common. I only have 3 up here. The Fly of Fear, the Racer, Rebel Yell, and the Backlot Stunt coasters. And then also they have Scooby-Doo in common, or now they call it Woodstock Express. So those are all really good coasters, to be honest. So the thing about Kings Island and Kings Dominion is they're both very good parks. And they each have their own feel to them. So Kings Dominion, you have Volcano and Tamara 305, and Dominator, a couple other ones that aren't clones. And you have a really good feel. And then you look at Kings Island, which has Diamondback, Banshee, and other really good, and they have really good coasters. And these coasters that are between the two parks are really supporting coasters. They're not like their top 3. So, I guess what I'm trying to get out here is that these are great supporting coasters. I don't think clones should be the best in the park, but they're great supporting coasters, and I definitely think they should be supporting coasters, and that clones are good for that because you're saving a lot of money on them, and they're good for supporting coasters. And I do think they please the guests. They're good crowd pleasers. Like Rebel Yell at Kings Dominion is one of the best crowd pleasers, along with Backlot Stunt Coaster. And Fly of Fear always has like the second longest line at Kings Dominion behind Volcano. So I think it's safe to say they all 3 are please the crowds and please the park guests. And now they don't obviously please all the enthusiasts because a lot of them say it's just a clone and it's nothing special. But I do think for a supporting coaster, clones are very good. So now let's get into the final thought. So, well, the last part of this video, I guess, actually, is clones. So, like, a personal thought of mine. So that I live in Northern Virginia. I live in between Six Flags America and Kings Dominion. And they have two very different coaster lineups. And I love that about them. However, though, one of them has Fly Fear and the other has Joker's Jinx. And they are clones. And being an enthusiast, it does bug me when I ride them. Because I literally live right in the middle of them time-wise, driving-wise. And it honestly does annoy me. Even though they do have different themes, and one of them's indoor and one of them outdoor. But it still does annoy me some. But, so, I guess what I'm getting at is, if you have a clone, you should not put it at two parks that you might have people going to both of them. So, like in my case, Six Flags America and Kings Dominion, or Kings Island and Cedar Point, and Six Flags, Fiesta Texas, and Six Flags Over Texas. Because you have a lot of people going to both those parks. But if you put, like, one clone at Six Flags Great Adventure, and then one at Six Flags Magic Mountain, a lot of people aren't going to be going to those same parks. Because they're across the country, so it's very expensive to do that, obviously. So you're not going to be doing that, like, every season. Compared to, like, me, where I go to Six Flags America and Kings Dominion every season. So, that's basically my entire video. So, please tell me what you think about if coasters should be cloned or not in the comments. So, about a little channel update. I'm going to try to start posting about 3 times a week now. So, if you have any video ideas, please leave them in the comments. And please also leave this video a like and subscribe. So, I'll see you guys next time. 4 really good clones for a pretty good price. Because a clone is a lot cheaper to buy than a from the ground up, not cloned before. Because that we have to go back and design them. So, I mean, they can be a lot cheaper. And for a part, it's obviously a good thing. And, well, regular coasters that are built from the ground up are really good. The question is, are clones good? And from a perspective of a financial standpoint, because while I would love to see parks get individual coasters that are completely unique, at the end of the day, that just can't happen if we want to see a lot of new coasters. Because, Cedar Fair example, they're doing that, and they've installed one coaster the last 4 years. And obviously, a lot of parks like World of Fun, Dorney Park, Knott's Berry Farms, California's Great America, and a couple others, basically all just get looked over for new coasters because of this. Well, at Six Flags, you're at least getting a new coaster for most of your parks. Now, you have a couple exceptions like Six Flags America and the Great Escape. But for the most part, though, you're getting good rides at most of these parks, and you don't have to wait a long time for them. And I feel like, well, yes, I would like to see new coasters at every park that are unique from the ground up. I think clones are a good second best thing to that because they're cheaper and they can still be really good. Because, I mean, the Batman the Ride clones are some of my favorite coasters. And, well, they're clones. I mean, they're good. They're solid layout. They're fun. They're intense. And same with, like, the Fly of Fear and Backlot stunt coasters. And Rebel Yell and Racer I consider also be really good. In fact, there are a few clones that are in my top 10. Like, Ratchet, for example, at Cedar Point. That's actually a clone. There's another clone that, I think in Japan, maybe? I think it's at Expo Land. But that is a clone. Now, the Raptor at Cedar Point did come first, but there's still a clone of it. And another great example of that is, I mean, it's not my top 10, but the Fly Fears. They're really good clones. And, I mean, there is one problem with clones, though. And that is if they're too close together. So, where I live right between Six Flags America and Kings Dominion. So, Kings Dominion has Fly Fear, and Six Flags America has Joker's Jinx. And they're the exact same coaster layout. Now, the theming and one of them's indoors and stuff, so that's all different. But being a coaster enthusiast, I do know they're the same, and that does kind of take away from the ride. However, though, if you're putting, like, a clone in California and then one in New York, obviously they're going to be far apart, and people, like, aren't going to have, like, the problem of, like, they live right in between, so they go both. And I feel that's a great thing. Now, they're, like, right next to each other, like Fiesta Texas and Over Texas. Then you probably should put clones at those two parks. But besides that, I mean, I think clones are a great thing. I do think that helps the parks get more coasters. So I personally like clones. So please tell me what you think of this in the comments below. And see you guys next time.